That's a transatlantic slave trade descendant. That's Joshua Arnold Ford. And he went to Ethiopia and hooked up with them. But what the leaders didn't know before is that the Ethiopian Jews are Edomites and come off of Edomite source and heritage. They come off of Edomite source and heritage. And they didn't know, They didn't know. But we starting to know now. And man, he come from an Edomite source. And he come from the Jews in Yemen. And the Jews in Yemen in Saudi Arabia is going to be from Edom's heritage. Prophet Obadiah said that they will get our heritage. I proved in the video that and other videos where the black Jews, the Limbas and all them come from, is why that these folks didn't get, caught up in the transatlantic slave trade, and it was impossible to escape that, being that it lasted for about 275 years, and but it was instinctive, for us Hebrews to want to connect with other folks to solidify our identity, or to give our identity some work and stuff, is to hook up with them black Jews that's been doing the Israelite heritage for a long time, and then it make it seem like we real, even though we know that we the real Israelites, but it kind of make it seem obvious. And that's what a lot of those leaders did in the past when they ran to Africa trying to hook up with the Jews that never experienced slavery and so forth. And then right now, man, it's some real history going on, you know what I'm saying? And man, we ain't using Jewish history, and Almighty Yah wasn't gonna let us come into our heritage up under that falsehood and the false history that's been presented to the world about Israelite history, and from the Israelite groups that's been using Jewish history. Y'all thought Almighty Yah was gonna let us go out like that? Nah, he wasn't gonna let us go out like that. You know what I'm saying? That's like, Joshua Arnold Ford. You can appreciate these brothers and sisters in the past that, tried to establish an Israelite heritage, especially with the little limited resources that they got. I tip my hat to them. You know what I'm saying? And they can't knock the brother in no kind of way and stuff. But what I can knock is, you know what I'm saying, now they say off the groups that Joshua Arnold Ford and the others created, you know what I'm saying, these are the subgroups and denominations that come off of them. The Commandment Keepers, the Hebrew Israelites of Jerusalem, Beth Shalom, Benai Zakim, Ethiopian congregation, and I even went up and met the brother Funyay Capers and got pictures with him. And the Church of the Living God, Church of God, Saints of Christ, Orthodox Church of God and Saints of Christ, the Israelite Church of God and Jesus Christ, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, the Nation of Yahweh, One West. They say all these groups, come off what Joshua Arnold Ford tried to do. And man, that's that's cool. However, that the people tried to come into their Israelite heritage, man, it's cool. And our enemies make it seem like that the people, we know that the people wasn't versed in Christianity and that was forced on them first. But then as they started to read the Bible, that some of the people wise enough to realize that, hey, this is talking about us and dealing with us. And that how, the enemies are trying to ridicule that as this individual was doing in this video. But what I want the Israelites to know is that, all these groups right here that I just named off, and Benjamin, Frank Curry, William Sanders Crowder, Arnold Joshua Ford, and even my brother Funyay Capers, he's a Jewish rabbi, and he do Judaism. And Wentworth Arthur, Matthew, and Yahweh Ben Yahweh, and then what all these great, leaders in the past got in common is that they use Jewish history, and that they all believe in the 10 lost tribes, and that they all believe in that 70 AD the Hebrews ran into Africa, ran across North Africa because Herd Edomite temple was destroyed, and then how that they believe in the New Testament, and then how these some good leaders, man, and they tried their best, but we professionals with this Israelite history now. This is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. We professionals with this Israelite history, and we ain't finna be using no Jewish myths. We ain't finna be trying to use no Jewish myths to be trying to explain no Israelite history in this day and time. And everybody should know that Almighty Yah was going always shake up what's traditional. If it's traditional and being accepted by the masses as true, Almighty Yah got a way to come in and shake it up and let you see that that's not true. And I can't see nobody coming in shaking up the history that I do, because I'm showing you the people in the Bible who we Israelites dealt with, and then tracing our history from the Tanakh to us now. But listen to what this devil was saying about these, this Hebrew, these Hebrews that, had made their way to Ethiopia. They didn't know that they was going to an Edomite, inheritance, or that the Jews in Ethiopia were the ones that was in Yemen, and by way of Teman and so forth, who was Eliphaz's son, that they come from the promised land, from John Hornicus converting all the Edomites in 130 BC. 130 BC, that's like 130 years before the character Jesus come about. He wouldn't know that all them folks was Edomites, and how he would interact with them and embrace them and become one with them is because he was one too. And how about that them folks was all in Arabia, in Medina. They was in Medina, and they was in Mecca. They was in Medina, and they was in Mecca, and so forth. And how that, that those were not Israelites. And then how that them folks would go over into Africa, into Ethiopia, and then on down to Zimbabwe, and then they would go to Nigeria and so forth. But how that they wasn't Israelites. But how that, our people didn't know in the past. Our people didn't know in the past. We just trying to hook up with some people that say that they Israelites that got pigmentation, so it'll validate, us claiming the Israelite heritage in captivity. But check this devil out.
This move to Ethiopia was part of a wider Back to Africa movement pushed by black nationalists such as Marcus Garvey and the UNIA. The movement was largely inspired by political Zionism, the desire to establish a Jewish state in Palestine. Ford admired the Zionists for their political success, but was also very hostile towards them, believing and promoting a number of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, such as the Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. He believed that Jewish control of international banking was preventing the success of Pan-African movements. Well, despite all that, Ford managed to get himself and a small number of his followers to Ethiopia. However, he wasn't able to negotiate a land deal with the government, because they had laws forbidding foreigners from owning land. He and his followers found it difficult to make a living in Ethiopia. The land wasn't ideal for farming, and they had trouble acquiring funds for more industrial activities. They also had troubled relations with the local populace. The native Ethiopians looked down on Ford and his followers due to their ancestors being slaves to whites, which they saw as disgraceful. The nobility in Ethiopia, including the newly crowned Emperor Haile Selassie, didn't embrace Pan-Africanism or black nationalism. They preferred to emphasize their Arab ancestry, which they saw as one of power and conquest, while downplaying their African ancestry, which they saw as weak. On top of that,
All right, now we know that the devils cause confusion and and try to keep up all kind of mischief. But the thing is, this devil ain't telling no lie because that the Ethiopian Jews would tell you in their history. It's in their history that they come from Saudi Arabia or Yemen or from the Arabian Peninsula. You know what I'm saying? That they come from that massive land. So, if they come from that massive land, and I got a video showing that them folks, wasn't no Israelites, and that how that, Islam was created off, the Jews that were not Israelites, the people of the book. But me and these groups, come a long way. And man, we done come a long way. But we at the top of the game now. Cause we can show that we Israelites and show what happened in detail, and there's no playing around. And then it's the thing, the history that I show is slow getting out, and it's like that with the truth, man. You got the Israelites is blessed to be done stumbled across the truth, but how that some of the Israelites, man, they slow getting around to seeing what's going on. And I'm thankful for the Israelites that have subscribed and that possibly be spreading this message to other Israelites and showing how we're the Israelites. We got to wake up. But I just wanted to do this little history on the brother Arnold Josiah Ford, and how they try to smear his name and so forth and dog him out. But he was a real Israelite because he come from Barbados, and all the Israelites from Barbados, you know what I'm saying, was part of the